Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with y'all my favorite makeup brushes that I use, and that's it. Yeah, my favorite makeup brushes. People always ask me what kind of makeup I use, and of course I have a ton of different products that I use, different brands, and there's so many to choose from, but really what makes the difference when applying your makeup is the brushes that you use. And I'm not saying that you have to go get the most expensive brushes out there, but having a good set of brushes really does make a difference. But before we get to the brushes, can we just take a moment for my shirt? Hope you can see Marilyn, and it says how to marry a millionaire. So if any of y'all have any tips, let me know. Holla at your girl, because I need to know. So I'm just going to go through my brushes that I use on a daily basis and explain what they're for and let you know where you can get them. Of course, like I said, you don't have to get these same exact brushes. You can get whatever kind you want, but these are just the particular ones that I use and that I feel work best for me. So let's get right to it. To apply my foundation, I've been using the Sigma Flat Kabuki. It's the F80. I've been using this for quite some time. And it's just a flat top kabuki brush, and I just pour my foundation on the back of my hand and then dip this in it and go in and do small dabbing motions as you've seen in my other videos. And I feel like this brush really works well for liquid makeup, and it just blends it so smoothly and makes your foundation look airbrushed and perfect. And there's really not any trick to it. You just blend it all out, and you can blend it down your neck, wherever you want to go. And then for my under eye concealer, I use the Sigma Tapered Kabuki, which is the same brush. It's just tapered instead of a flat top like this one is. And it is the F86. And I use it to blend out my concealer under my eyes. I just tap it in tapping motions like that, and it blends that seamlessly into your foundation without you having to do a lot of work. Now, if I'm not using those two brushes for my foundation and my concealer, I will be using my Beauty Blender, which I used this morning. That's why it's dirty. And I know a bunch of people have mixed opinions on the Beauty Blender because it is a little pricey. That was thunder, so if you hear something, that's what it is. But it is a little expensive for a sponge, but it really is worth it. What you do if you don't know how to use a beauty blender, it comes smaller than this. It starts off smaller, and you dampen it, which that's the mistake that a bunch of people make. They use it dry and they're like, I don't understand the big ordeal with the beauty blender. It's because you have to use it damp. So run it underwater and squeeze it a few times, and then I take mine on like a paper towel or a tissue and I just really get the excess water out, and then so it expands. And you can blend anything out with this, and it really does blend it and make it look perfect. So same as I do with my flat top kabuki, I just put my foundation on the back of my hand, dip this in, and I use the bigger side for my foundation and just tap it out on my face. And then I'll use this for my concealer as well, and I use the tapered end, and I just dip it into my concealer, and then I will tap that out under my eye. Like I said, it's kind of expensive for a sponge, but it really is great. Next, to set my under eye concealer with my banana powder, my Anastasia banana powder, or my Laura Mercier loose powder, I use the Sigma Tapered Highlighter, the F35. And it looks like this. And it's just a tapered, soft brush, and I just tap it into my powder and then set my concealer with whatever powder I'm using that day. And it just really, being tapered, it really fits up under that eye perfectly for you to set your powder with. For contouring, I've recently been using the Sigma small contour brush. It's the F05. And it's just a small little dome brush, and it fits perfectly into the hollows of your cheeks. I know some people like to use like the flat brushes, like the NARS Eda brush or an angled brush, and so it's just really your preference if you want an angle brush. Sometimes people think that that makes it easier to contour, but I've really been loving this one because it's small and you can just fit it right into where you want to go. For my eyeshadows, I have a few, which you don't have to have all of these brushes, but you need a few essential brushes in order to blend all of your eyeshadows out seamlessly. The first one, which is my absolute favorite, is the Sigma Taper Blending Brush. It's the E40 brush, and it's just a really, really big, fluffy blending brush, and I use this on my, with my transition shade that I put in my crease, which will always be like my first color, the lightest color that I apply into the crease of my eye. It's just really fluffy and it's easy to blend back and forth. And then after I use that one, I go in with my Sigma Blending E25 brush. And it's just a little more dense than the first one is. And so I will take my next shade that I'm applying into my crease and focusing more on the crease on this brush and blend that out. And for my lid, it just depends on what kind of shadow I'm using. Like today I use some MAC pigments, and so if I'm using any kind of really glittery or pigment eyeshadow, I use the MAC 242 brush, and it's just a flat brush like this, and it just really picks up the pigments and the glitter, and you can tap them on real easily without a ton of fallout. Some shadows is inevitable. I can't say that word. Some shadows is inevitable. You're going to have dropout. That's why a lot of times I suggest applying your eyeshadow before you put on your foundation. That way if you have a bunch of fallout, you can just wipe it away without messing up what you've already applied to your face. So if I'm not using a glittery or pigment eyeshadow, and I'm just applying a matte shade to my lid, I'll use the Sigma eye shading brush. It's the E55. It's just a really flat, short hair brush. Perfect for applying any shadow onto your lid. Next, what do I have next? Oh, so underneath my eye, I don't wear eyeliner, as you might know. I used to. Back in the day, I would cake on the black liner on my waterline and have that harsh line, but I just don't feel like that looks best on me anymore. So what I do is I line my waterline with the darkest shadow that I use in my eye, and then I blend it out with one of the lighter shades. And what I blend it out with is the Sigma pencil brush. It's an E30. It's this really tiny pencil brush, but it's still fluffy and soft enough that you're not like scraping your eyeball off when you're blending it out. So after I apply the dark shade on my waterline, I'll take whatever lighter shade on this brush and just buff that out underneath my waterline to make it have a more smoky effect. And to apply my darker shade on my waterline, I don't have a specific brush like a Sigma or anything. I just use any small angle brush. You probably have one laying around your house. I know I have like so many random brushes, no clue where they're from. I most certainly haven't bought them. I don't know where they came from, but I just have a little angle one that I put that on with. Then, personally, I don't wear gel liner. I just feel like I can apply liquid eyeliner easier on myself, but for others, when I do their makeup, I use gel liner on them. And to apply that, I use the Sigma Small Angle Brush. It's the E65. And I did just recently use this on someone. That's why it is dirty. Along with the rest of my brushes, I need to clean them. But it is just this angle brush, and it's perfect for applying gel liner. Just dip it in your gel liner and you can draw on the perfect eyeliner. It's easy to get a cat eye because it has that pointed end, so you can just do your little flick up and then connect it. So that's what I use when I'm applying gel liner. Is that it? As for the rest of my makeup, like blush and then applying a highlighter shade on the tear duct of my eye and under my brow bone, I don't have specific brushes that I use, just random ones that I grab here and there. For blush, I just use any fluffy blush brush to apply that. And then For the corner of my eye and underneath my brow bone, I use any little teeny tiny precision brush. Like I said, it doesn't have to be anything in particular. Also, I know most of my brushes are Sigma brushes, and that's just because that's what I went for and that's what I bought. And I know there's other good ones, and I do want other ones, but as I just feel like these brushes work perfectly fine, and there's no need in me spending more money on new brushes when these are working just great and haven't fallen apart. Sigma brushes are great. They have great quality. I've had mine for over a year now and they're not falling apart yet. So I guess when they do, I might branch out and try something different. I know Morphe has just as good of brushes as Sigma, and they're all pretty inexpensive for nice brushes, because getting a nice brush can be pretty pricey, but these really aren't that bad, and you can get them in sets where it comes like your standard set or a blending set, and it comes with a set of brushes like already selected, or you can go on there and select whichever one you want individually. So if you want to try them out, I will link the website down below, and I will link what brushes that I mentioned in this video. I think that's all that I have for today. I just wanted to give you a quick run through on what brushes I use. So if you're in the market for some new brushes, you should definitely try these out. Let me know how you like them. I will have a new video up for y'all next week, so stay tuned, and until then, have a good week. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It really is worth all the hype.